in the same Zimbabwe where people are leaving for greener pastures, people within the land in Zimbabwe are building jaw-dropping things, phenomenal things. And it's really the side that we don't really see or hear much of. I'm going to be sharing my lessons on what I found when I went to Zimbabwe as an adult, being intentional about building connections and relationships. So let's get to it. So for the last couple of years, I've been going back to Zim just to see, experience the culture, experience the land. And last year, I was invited for my first speaking engagement in Zimbabwe. I had never done any business of any sort in Zim. So when the opportunity arose, I was extremely excited. I was invited by the executive branch in Zimbabwe. And this is a community of ambitious women who are doing amazing things. I learned that Zimbabwe is very interesting, and like many countries, but in the same Zimbabwe, people are struggling. And when people are struggling, they're really struggling. And if you've grown up only being exposed to one version of Zimbabwe, maybe where it's one of lack, and you don't see that there are other sides and there are people doing amazing things, that gives you a one-sided view. You hear that sound? That sound is the sound of something telling me that there's no electricity. And there hasn't been any electricity since I woke up. And it's now 11:51 a.m. Okay, and today I'm taking myself out for lunch whilst I prepare for the speaking engagement on Friday. Like 2 hours later, I am going out now. It's literally been 2 hours. But we made it outside. And the sun is really sunning. Look at this, like, African sun hits different. So I'm waiting for the Uber because I'm Ubering it. Waiting for my Uber. The Wi-Fi here is so much better than the Wi-Fi at home. So I've been downloading stuff and just like making use of the Wi-Fi. One thing I really appreciate about England is the Wi-Fi, because wow, I've been maximizing this time and just like taking a lot in. I've done some journaling and I've just really been at peace and eating and happy. Today is the day of the exec brunch. Now we're just waiting for my ride to get there and we make our way. I'm going for, oh gosh, the sun is harsh. I'm going to have my makeup done there and then proceed to get ready there. One thing being in Zimbabwe that I've learned is it's absolutely, whether good or bad, it's absolutely who you know has a lot to play with how successful you can be. Knowledge is great, but who you know and the connections and the community that you hang around with is very, very important. Even just being in the space of the exec brunch and being at the event, as somebody who's external and coming in, I didn't know many people. So I just naturally got to interact who's who, finding out who's who. And it was really amazing to hear, oh, I'm the CEO of this, and I'm the founder of this, and I'm the director of this. And seeing all of these ambitious women who are creatives, who are entrepreneurs, who are leaders, who are business women, was just so refreshing, because there's nobody that I spoke to, and I spoke to a lot of people at the event who's just doing nothing. They're doing big, phenomenal things. But if you go thinking, oh, Zimbabwe is poor, your eyes are going to see nothing but poverty. If you go thinking there might be opportunities, you will see opportunities and you will start noticing things because of how you arrive in the lab. Connected with some of the women, and I've really been like, hey, can I pick your brain? How do you do this? And how does this work? And how did you get started? I'd love to hear your story, and I'd love to hear your journey, and I'd love to maybe get a starting point as somebody who's coming from the outside in a community. You need people who are doing what you want to do, whether that's farming, whether that's building, whether that's having community, doing events. You need a community of people who are like-minded, who are doing the same thing that you're doing. Otherwise, it can be very frustrating trying to build alone. But people are very helpful.
if you're willing to learn and willing to ask questions. So community is very, very important in Zimbabwe. You can't just expect to go to school and then make it. No, it's who do you know? Where are you attending? What are some of the clubs, the social places? Where are some of the people that, where are the people that you need to speak to? Where are they hanging out? And kind of being intentional about going into those spaces. Something about that's different between the diaspora and places like Zim is that you're not really using credit like that. So whilst here you can look like money because you can get something on credit or on finance, in Zim, the second thing that I learned being in the room with ambitious women who are doing amazing things is they are not waiting for permission. They're not waiting for people to give them opportunities or for people to tell them, yeah, okay, this is now your time, or waiting for the economy to get better or waiting for things to get better. In that same environment, they are getting things done. They are looking for resources. They are leading. They are actively building. They are not only building, but they're taking other women under their wings and building as a collective. One thing I noticed is there were a lot of like groups of people that came together who were in the same network, who are in the same industry, and they work really closely together, and you can tell just how tight-knit the communities are. And for a moment I sat in the room and I was like, I've never seen this side of Zim before. I've never even known that these spaces exist, and I've never really paid attention. And it was just really refreshing to see that women who are Black, who are Zimbabwean, who are successful, who are cheering each other on, who are supporting one another, are all in one room, enjoying, having fun, learning, networking. There was no, oh, I've arrived, oh, I'm this and I'm this, so therefore I'm better than you. Everybody in that room, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey, everybody in that room felt like an executive, felt like they were part of the community. And that's the beauty of it, because once you see something, you see that it's possible. Representation is very important. I spoke about it in my last video, that you have to see yourself represented. So seeing leaders, seeing entrepreneurs, seeing Zimbabwean women really exposes you to what's possible out there. And I sat there thinking, wow, I really want more people to be exposed to this, especially people in the diaspora who may have a version or think a certain thing about Zimbabwe and think that there are no opportunities. Like being in that room even validated that even more, that there are opportunities if you are in the right circles and in the right environment and in the right places, networking, communicating, exposure. I think one thing that we typically do when we come from abroad and back home is we are in the same environment. So either going kumusha and being with the family and being with friends, but there is no intentionality of actually like, what are some of the opportunities whilst I'm in Zimbabwe that I could get connected to? What are some of the things that I can get exposed to? Who can I speak to outside of my normal, right, I'm just going home, I'm just going to being in my house or being with my family, actually maximizing that time. I found that LinkedIn is a very, very good tool to use. Social media actually in general is a very, very great tool to use because you've got these things at your fingertips. You can find people who are in your industry or who are in where you want to go, and you can reach out to them and just start speaking to them. When you go, oh, hey, I'm here. I do that a lot. LinkedIn, Instagram, I reach out to people, I speak to people and connect with people. And when I'm then in the country, it's so much easier to grab coffee and those people introduce you to other people. And then you now become a part of the environments where things are happening. And actually how I got speaking and got this opportunity was through Instagram. I was speaking to the founder in the DMs, and that was it. I actually met her in Zimbabwe for the first time at the event. So don't be too shy to reach out to people, to network, to communicate, to shoot your shot. Don't be afraid. So if you're Zimbabwean, if you're in the diaspora and you're thinking about putting roots in Zim, you're thinking about building, you're thinking about maybe relocating one day, like you really just have to go and see and experience it for yourself. Not taking into consideration the things that you've heard from other people, the stories that you've heard from other people. Yes, there is hardship, and it's not to say Zimbabwe is perfect. There is no country that's perfect, but it's experiencing it for yourself, finding a community for yourself, speaking to people for yourself. You might have relatives back home who have a completely different experience, but that's not yours. Again, in that same Zimbabwe, there are people that are struggling, that are making ends meet. There are also people that are building and are wealthy and making it. Don't let someone else's narrative be the reason why you stay disconnected to. So having said that, as I said, the event that I went to was last year in May, and this year they're hosting another event in this May 2026. So if anybody is in Zimbabwe, I would absolutely 100% recommend you be in that room. I promise you, Ever since I've attended the exec brunch, my mindset has changed about how I see Zimbabwe, how I see people building, about the opportunities that are there. I've built amazing communities, amazing networks, amazing people that I've met that I'm still in touch with now, who have helped me in my own journey of building relationships and building. So there is the Legacy Conference at the Peach Boutique Hotel on the 8th of May. Again, if you want to build in Zimbabwe, you want to meet ambitious, amazing women on the 8th of May 2026, you need to be in that room. If you're not in the room, if you're in Zimbabwe and you're not in that room, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because the who's are in that room. And those are some of my lessons of experiencing Zimbabwe as an adult. I'm going to leave the details in the description below so you can go check it out yourself. Go check out the website, go follow the Instagram page. Whatever you do, please be in that room. I promise you. And I'm not even just saying it for the sake of saying it. I've been to the event and I've seen the transformation of myself. I've seen the community that I've built. And if you know somebody who's in Sim, you might be in England, you might be outside of the country, but if you have friends or family who you know, like, just send them. Like, it's worth the investment, I promise you. See you in my next video.